What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? It's your girl Empress. It's about to be my 5-year lock anniversary. Look at this. Thank you.
We gotta salute to the lock anniversary. We got to.
Like, I don't know who the fuck I think I am with these.
Nice and flourishing too. Got a nice brown in it. Beautiful locks.
Thank you.
We lock gang over here. We lock gang.
Okay, you feel me? Y'all can't touch us. But no, look, I can tie my locks in a whole knot. That's all I be doing now. When I just.
In fact, me too.
But your locks been your locks are longer than mine. So you been had that privilege. I just started. I was just able to do that like 2 months ago. But what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Let Me Nourish You podcast. Another bonus episode. You know what I'm saying? Have you meditated before?
I've tried. I'm gonna try again.
Okay. Well, you know, because you are like one of the best supporters ever. How I always say, like, we gotta take a breath. Mm-hmm. So we're going to incorporate that, but we'll save it for next time since I just threw that on you like that. But I definitely was thinking about it all day.
Nah, definitely. I'll be looking to get into it. Once. I'm gonna get into it. Definitely have to.
We're definitely gonna work on our intros too. Like, you feel me? Because yeah,
we're gonna
get the intro together. It's your girl Empress, and then I gotta let you say your shit. All right, let's just start over from right now. But I mean, everything else is still gonna be in it. But if I get what? This is real raw
material right here. This is real raw material. So that way, when we look back, we're gonna be like, "Damn, this what it was."
We're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
We're gonna be like, "Damn, this where we started."
Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be so beautiful.
For sure.
I appreciate you for being here.
Man, I appreciate y'all letting me here. You letting me here. I'm glad to be here.
You could be anywhere, but you chose to be with the Let Me Know.
For sure.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna talk about round 1 a little bit, and I guess the start of round 2 a bit. So you can kick that off, and then it's Johnny's turn to. Excuse me, it's one take. Johnny's turn to lead the conversation. But what was I about to say? Yeah. I was about to say one take Empress too, because I'm a part of that.
For sure. One take Empress.
I'm gonna be quiet, but if I ever announce myself as that, y'all just know. Period.
Just know y'all know who it is.
Okay, right. So what's up?
Well, we just had round 1. Round 1 ended. Let me remember the series. We got the Warriors and Memphis playing right now. Not right now, but they're playing. Heat Sixers. Mavs. Who are the Mavs playing? Mavs Suns. Celtics Bucks. First round, a couple of surprises. Obviously, I don't think nobody's seen the Nets getting swept. That was definitely, a surprise for most people. Biggest disappointment for me is Minnesota. I feel like Minnesota definitely should have won that series. They pretty much dominated most of the series, but lost the series 4-2. That's some shit I've never seen really before, especially out of a 7 seed to dominate a series and lose in 6 games. That was something to watch. My Hawks. My Hawks went down 4-1. My Hawks went down 4-1, man. Trae Young then wasn't Trae Young that we know. But he got a good team. They had a good game plan, good defensive game plan. Eric Spoelstra's a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh,
They
can,
beat. You feel
can
me?
we give it up for Eric? Well, first of all,
Eric Spoelstra is the Hall of
so
Fame coach.
he coaches for Atlanta.
No, he coached for the Heat.
Oh, I was about to say, because I was like, well, he coaches for Atlanta because I love him from the Heat when I was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
fan when it was Braun, Wade, Bosh, and
Yeah,
all them.
yeah.
Bruh, I love that man. All right, I'm sorry, but I had to give it up. I get excited if I hear his name. And him and Dick Vitale and other people. Those classic men that I just love.
Dick Vitale is definitely a classic. You know what I mean? Get well. But yeah, my Heat, my Hawks, I mean, we took a tough one to the Heat. I was 4-1. Mavs cleaned up the Jazz. The Jazz are no good. Just overrated sons of some players. Um, I might have missed. Did I miss a series?
What'd
I
you
think
say about the Mavs and the Jazz?
the Jazz got killed. They're
Okay.
not. They're not. They're exactly who we thought they were. They're frauds. They fool us every regular season like they're good, but if you really know basketball, you know they're not going to be good in the playoffs.
Why do you think that is? Is it the chemistry? Is it the coaching? Is it a mixture of all?
I think they have good coaching. I think it's really just the play. They just don't have the collection of players to get the job done.
Mm.
Um, it shows, and it starts with Rudy Gobert. I think he's an overrated defensive big. I think he's overrated, especially when the playoffs come. It's a different style of basketball. You get all they do is spread them out, put a shooting big on the floor, and he cannot guard pick and rolls. He cannot guard pick and rolls. Guards off of the pick and roll. And that's the biggest thing in the playoffs. You have to be able to guard a pick and roll.
So that's basically if someone is like, say, you know how niggas like have a good screen, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like he doesn't do well with that, right? That's basically what you're saying, right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He
Okay,
would
I
be
just
the
wanted
big
to be sure because
man.
I had the visualization in my head because that's one thing I be calling out when I see a good screen. I know a good screen when I see one.
Right, right. So as a big man, if you guarding the dude who's setting the good screen, when that guy sets the screen and the guard now is essentially 1-on-1 with the big, you have to be able to still move your feet and be able to contain the dribble. And they treat him like a whole cone. He's a workout drill out there. He's a workout drill.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what the rest of the playoffs got. You know, round two. I don't have the game on right now. I don't know exactly who's playing. I think the Heat and the Sixers are playing right now. So we'll see how these series play out, and we'll check back in after round two.
Thank you, Coach. I I've been doing my best to watch it. I didn't really take down notes. Yeah, it was just some lazy shit, honestly. Like, what else could I say?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the highlights. I think I watched a little bit of the game last night. I think like it was on for a minute, but then I kind of started paying attention for a little bit around like the third or fourth quarter. Because then I had went to sleep. I was like, I'm turning this shit off. Who won last night? Between the Warriors and the Jazz. I mean the Grizzlies.
Memphis won.
Okay, yeah. I really wanted to see the end, but I was so sleepy, so I turned it off. But
Yeah, I always fall asleep on the West Coast games.
I do want to give a shout out to my nigga Ja. Like when I was like actually paying attention to a couple of the games, like during round one. Stop saying like. During round one. Yeah. I just remember that game. I can't remember which game it was, but I love basketball. I gotta do better. But I'll have more to challenge or, questions to ask about, after round two when we speak on that.
For sure, for sure.
We appreciate the rundown.
For sure,
For
man.
anybody who is a basketball fan that's listening or watching this, can you let us know who y'all are going for in the playoffs? Let me say, I was talking to one of my friends, and he's from New York. He loves the Knicks. I had to call him because not too long ago he was just, hype about the playoffs, my Knicks, yada, yada, yada. So I had to call him. I don't know which game it was, but I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to piss you off or anything.
Nah,
but are you watching the game? I ended up being his commentator, though. You feel me? It was cool. So, yeah, the Nets, yeah. But even just watching them, I'm just like, first of all, Kyrie doesn't look like he wants to be there. Shout out to my nigga Kyrie. He doesn't even look like he wants to be there. You feel me? Not in a bad way. I'm just saying the chemistry. I don't see any chemistry with the Nets, bro. I really don't.
They didn't have any. They didn't have any at all.
Okay. So, that's enough playoff talk. She shall lead the topic for tonight. It's a surprise for me. I'm curious to see what we're gonna talk about.
All right. So, I recently seen a video. I think it's on your page, actually. I think it's on your page. And basically, the question pretty much posed in the video, which was interesting to me, is how do you know when you're truly ready for a relationship?
It was okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the question in the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correct, I think somebody was asking a member of a podcast. I think he had his own podcast. I wish I remember who said it.
I
Giving
know
they
what you're
proper
talking about,
credit.
but I'm trying to think. Can we show how we just stop and think for a second and see if something allows us to come back to it?
Yeah, cause actually, I think I have it on my phone too. Let's see if I can.
Oh, it was from my Reddit. I was on Reddit and that question popped up, and I had screenshotted it and posted.
Oh yeah, because I don't have it in here no more.
Yeah, it was saying, how do I stop putting myself out there when I know I'm not good enough for a relationship right now type stuff. I mean, it definitely sounds like, prayers for him, because I actually ended up reading the rest of that blog, kind of, and it was like a bunch of he was just very insecure and felt horrible about himself. But the question itself is there. So
It's there, right? So I guess I'll solicit my thoughts to crank us off.
yeah, lead the way. It's your show today.
To crank us off. I think, because I think it's a real thing going on with, our generation. I feel like, and I didn't read the whole post, but just get from what you said, he was insecure and stuff like that. I feel like we're dealing with a lot of people that are like that today, in the sense of where they feel like relationships validate them. You know what I mean? It validates who they are as a person and how they feel about themselves. So you have people that jump relationship to relationship because they are too afraid to be alone. You know what I mean? So the question, to bring it back to the question, like, how do you know when you're ready for a relationship? Like, at what point during your self mastery journey, your self healing journey, do you really say I'm ready for a relationship? Or is there even a point in which you say to yourself, I'm ready for a relationship? Does it just happen naturally as you continue? Because as you continue in your self master in your journey, So you could be in beginning stages, right? And meet people, right? And that's the balance, obviously, of putting yourself out there and working on yourself. Because I feel like you can work on yourself, but until you put in real world situations with other people where they actually test your growth, like how do you know if you've really grown? So
Mm.
that's where they in and your journey, I feel like they could go hand in hand. So therefore, for my answer would be you would never know if you're ready. It would just happen. Because then you'll meet a person that just it don't even feel like you're being tested. It'll feel like something that's natural, something that's here to help. You see what I'm saying? It won't feel like something that makes you feel negative emotions about. You know what I mean? Everything will be so aligned that it just feels natural. It feels not like every time you will be around that person, you will feel like your cup is just being filled up. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that's my short answer to it. I feel like there's never really a point of where you're ready. Because if you're truly growing and if you're truly stepping into a space of learning how to love somebody in a healthy way or in a healed version, it would be new. It would be something that you never experienced because you're still learning shit. Like you're still learning how to love somebody in a proper way. Like I'm an athlete, so my best analogy to it is like you could work on a move so many times, but get in the game and never do it. Like how do you know if your practice is working if you're never going to try it in the game? Like if you're gonna work on this move every day, but in the game you're gonna hesitate,
Mm.
what was the point of you working on the move? You see what I'm saying? So um I just think people should be more mindful of that in their journey, and just learn to love yourself, you know what I mean? Just learn to be by yourself, learn to challenge yourself. I feel like sometimes people get comfortable and say they learning themselves, but they're too comfortable in the journey. Like you're not stretching yourself. Like you're not allowing anything new into your space to figure out how you feel about it. So I feel like people just got to. That's an aspect that people should be mindful of. What are your thoughts?
That was really good.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate
I have no words.
you.
I agree with what you said. You be having the perfect words, bro. I really appreciate you.
And I be trying. Sometimes I feel like I be rambling, but
That's how I be feeling.
you
Um, it's definitely it definitely just happens naturally. I just thought about this, but I actually had a caption not too long ago, and it was saying how after my past experience. Now let me tell y'all how I mean, I'm gonna say that we're close because we actually have conversations. You feel me? Like
for sure.
this ain't no hee hee ha ha type of friendship. It's like we really be having conversations, and I be like Johnny be having the scoop on not everything, but a lot of things.
For sure. For sure.
So, after the last situation,
Mhm.
I was just like, I feel like the next time, I just feel like now I know when I'm gonna be like, okay, this the one.
Right.
Even if it's
You
not no
definitely.
lifetime shit, which I pray that it is.
Mhm.
But it's just like, okay, this the one. Like this is the being that I'm supposed to be growing with. Also, I was listening to this Lauren London. interview with Jay Shetty on his podcast, and she was speaking on her and Nip. And I was looking for it today, which is aligned how we're talking about this. I couldn't find it. I wrote it down. I don't know if I wrote it down or wrote it in my notes. I couldn't find it in my notes yet. But basically how her and Nip, their whole thing was just like really exploring the truth together. Like the truth of the world. And I'm like, that's the perfect words. Like that's and then I also pulled some cards, and one of the cards I received was love is saying I'm vulnerable and I'm committed. Let's expand our consciousness together. And I'm like, wow, it's just like the perfect words keep on coming. I actually just bought this book. I bought this book the other day. It's called How to Love, or no, it's called Being in Love. And I read like a page. I flipped to a page today, but I'm excited to read that because I always want to be a better lover to anyone, you know.
That's deep right there. I haven't thought about that in the definition like that.
But I feel like, yeah, you do get to that point where you realize it just happens when it happens. Yeah.
So, all right. Because that brings on the question that I have to ask. Do you feel like you could be loyal to somebody you don't love?
That's actually a great question that I feel like someone should like think about before they answer it. Because I was on the way like, yeah, but I gotta think about it for a second. Give me a second.
All right, so look, why you think about it? Let me just kind of set it up a little bit, because the song by 21. He when he says, "I'd rather have loyalty than love, because love don't mean nothing." And some might argue, how can you be loyal to somebody that you don't love? So it's like that's why it brings upon the question: can you love somebody, or can you be loyal to somebody and not love them?
In my experience, no. Just because of what my definition of love has been throughout my life and in different seasons. I give people my love without feeling like they should earn it. And really, when I say love, I'm really speaking on trust, but trust is a part of love, in my opinion. I do think it's just a hurt part of us as a collective, as a society,
right,
as human beings, especially, I will say, especially the Black community. It just comes from being hurt and not really being taught properly what love is or how to love. And it's so aligned that we're having this conversation because I'm getting emotional. A part of the book the book I was speaking on, Being in Love, it basically talks about, it's supposed to teach the reader how to love properly because we don't know how to love. Whatever we call love is usually mixed in with something like hatred, jealousy, possessiveness, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
But I do think that loyalty over love type shit, I just feel like it just comes from not having the divine knowledge of what love truly is and not yet discovering how to love and how to properly be loved and how to receive love, how to give love. And there's one of my favorite songs. This is by Blast. He was like, just give me loyalty because love is overrated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. but I think loyalty is overrated.
Mm. That's a take right there for y'all right there. Clip that up. Clip that up. That need to be the clip right there. Loyalty is overrated. Mm.
And it's like a lot of people want loyalty, but they don't even know how to be loyal to themselves. And it shows the fact that you can't be loyal to others.
And it shows. It shows.
People
It
want
reeks.
people want to receive loyalty, but don't give it. Like,
Right. It's like people put themselves on a pedestal that only they deserve loyalty and nobody else do. It's like love and loyalty, all this is two-way street. Like respect, you get respect when you give it. You know what I mean? You get loyalty back when you give it. You know? I don't think everybody, a lot of people come um, from a selfish place. You know what I mean? It's all about them. It's all about them. And it's like, of course, like that's the kind of the times we in. Everybody got social media. Everybody's about like branding themselves. But you can't be set. Well, it's good selfish and bad selfish. I like to say. That's what I like to say. Good selfish for me is, I like to do things for people because that make me feel good. I like to feel good. Like if I look out for my brother that I say I love, you know what I mean? When I look out for him, that made me feel good with nothing in return. You know what I mean? But then you got the selfish for just legit for only that person's gain. Like, oh, I'm gonna support you, but really I'm gonna support you because I want to get close to you because I'm trying to get to this room right here. You know what I mean? Those are the type of people and actions you got to really be mindful of, especially when you feel like, for me, I feel like I'm a genuine person. So whenever I show love, whenever I show support, it's genuine. I don't want nothing in return. You know what I mean? And everybody don't see it that way. That's when you get people like taking advantage of when you get the saying, "Oh, you took my kindness for a weakness." You know what I mean? People just only care about themselves. It's the times we in, emotionally, physically, financially. Everybody only care about themselves, and they can't even see outward into how another person to feel, how another person may feel about you as a person. Like that person may not have nothing but genuine intentions for you, but since you can only feel yourself, you blinded by everything else. You can only feel your emotions. I mean, and that goes to the conversation, like emotional intelligence, which that's another topic for another day. But um, conversations like this, what I mean, are important for the culture. You know what I mean? As we all are trying to heal, learn how to love ourselves. Everybody is not aware on how to love themselves, so therefore, like you said, oh, I'd rather have loyalty. Da da da. Love don't mean nothing. When I feel like the whole purpose of living almost is to feel love and receive love. I thought before you leave this earth, you should give love and you should receive love. Before everybody leave this earth, you should give love and you should feel love. Like you should feel the love that people say that at funerals. Like show people love while they're here. Like why we gotta wait till people die to highlight all their best qualities or something? You know what I mean?
Thanks. So
I think I got a little off topic there, but
no,
it
it's
was on
not
my
off
heart
topic.
to say.
It's not off. It's not off topic at all. So, mm, it's like when as we're speaking on, you don't ever really know. You just know when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just know when it is. Like,
I feel like you always know within the first couple of days of meeting
yo,
somebody.
for sure. Oh, shit.
You always know. I don't think it take long, to be honest. I think it take 3 dates, probably maximum.
I got this song and it be like, I knew from day two you weren't for me.
Right.
It's also like, I feel like even if we just subconsciously or consciously challenge ourselves and try to make
This
us
situation.
feel
Mm-hmm.
like something might actually be, when in all reality it is not. I feel like I forgot what I was saying. Fuck. But yeah. But when
Yeah,
it's something, because love just, well, romantic love just happens in so many different ways and forms. You never know how it's going to come about. People reconnect, people, friends end up fucking falling in love with each other. You meet someone new, that's your person. Like, it just comes in all different forms and ways. Um, I feel like where there's always genuine respect, there will always be space for something to be between people. If that makes sense.
definitely. No, definitely.
If I'm speaking on like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like when something isn't like a lifetime, let me not speak on it because everybody's journey is different. But what I've came to realize is I feel like I'm gonna know when, or at least I'm not even gonna cap. Like, at least I know like a couple of, I still have that thing like, okay, this person might be it, but like I ain't pressed. But as I'm growing in age, it's like, yeah. But when you know it's not it, it's just not it. Like, ain't no more testing those waters.
And you know immediately too. You gonna know like maybe within the first couple of conversations. Truthfully, in my experience, I always knew within the first 2 dates. Really, probably after the first conversation. Truthfully, I feel like I already know if I would want to continue this. And now, whether I continue it or not is will be another conversation. But I always know, and I don't know what it, and it's also like, because I feel like the contrast between, women and men, men are usually more logical, and women usually think more from an emotional standpoint. And so when a dude, I feel like when I'm having like a first couple of conversations, like it's always something you looking for. You know what I mean? Like I'll say men are more closed minded in that aspect because it's like buzzwords. You're probably listening for something. Like I want to see something, and then obviously you got your good feeling, but you looking for something. You know what I mean? Women are more here. I feel like I'm more nurturers. You know what I mean? So you would naturally want to see you know what I mean, a person progress. Y'all naturally like to see progress in a person. Okay, I could see where you at, but I
Mm-hmm.
could also see where you could be. That's why you get some stories where a dude will be like, "Man, she seen more out of me than I seen," you know what I mean? Because that's how naturally women are thinking. Women are more so think to the future with a man instead of seeing what's going on right now. Like, okay, boom. That's how you get to sometimes overlooking certain stuff of a person in a present construction of themselves.
And
So I
then,
just think
oh,
that's an interesting dynamic. Now you go ahead.
what's the last thing you just said? I didn't hear you.
Um, I forgot.
Okay. It was like the very last thing you said. I don't know if you were just kind
Yeah, wasn't nothing. Wasn't.
of okay. Um, you just said something and it made me think about that book. I'm gonna remember it when I watch this. And I'm gonna text you and be like, "Oh, this is the."
I remember it. I remember
I'll
it.
write it for the next podcast just so I can go over it. But yeah, just going back to it was something in part of the book that I was reading and it was saying like just people like someone who challenges you and that's really the best feeling ever because I'm not gonna say I never felt like I didn't deserve it, but I just feel like I felt like through others' actions and sometimes their words,
Mm-hmm.
as if you know. I really realized recently how much subconsciously I don't realize it, but I let not that I let, but a lot of things that young men have done and said to me really scarred me in a way
Mm-hmm.
because everything that I knew that I deserved and how I should be treated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that I've always desired and felt like I desired in a man. Everything I felt like I've desired in a man. It's just like, is that too much to ask for? And really, it's not. It's just not time for me to have that because when I am close to receiving that, like damn, there's some real shit. Like maybe I should just kind of like, cause I got shit to do. But I
Right.
feel like with the right person, y'all get shit done together. It just depends on like your path and your journey and how it's been written
Mm-hmm.
already. But um, yeah, like I'm asking too much to desire an ambitious man. I'm asking too
Nope.
much to for because I'm someone who believes and desires to build a business or be in business
Mm-hmm.
with my partner. I'm asking for too much. No. And it's just a lot of things. I feel like every time I'm trying to say something, my mind just tries to go to something else. And I feel like I'm just talking a whole bunch of jibber jabber right now.
Mm-mm.
Maybe
Nope.
because the
This is
subject is so deep.
it is. It
And I
is.
think about love
It's so
every
many.
goddamn day. Bruh.
It is and it's real though because it's so many. You know, like truly like understand love and know love. You know that it's complex. Like it's not just a simple explanation here or a simple explanation there. Because like if you truly love somebody, it's forever growing. Like if you love somebody, you love that person, but you should also love that person in future versions too. Because if this is a person that's gonna continue to grow and actually care, they're gonna continue to grow. They're gonna continue to reinvent themselves. They're gonna continue to stretch themselves. And you got to be ready to love each version of themselves. Like, so
Right.
it's a complex conversation. It's not a, this is that, this is that. It's a lot of gray area because at the end of the day, we're all different degrees of each other. So we all have different things that we like, different ways we like to be loved, different ways we need to be loved. So it becomes a real deep conversation because it is deep. It
That's what
ain't
it was.
simple.
You just remind me.
Oh, you got it now?
Yeah, you just reminded me.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Just basically, it was just like, it's just basically saying like how you grow with your partner, you change with your partner. And I feel like going back to me saying like, oh, maybe this is too much. Like, honestly, it's not too much, but I'm so used to being by myself and I'm so used to being the one that's trying to challenge like the nigga to where I'm not used to being challenged by a man. I'm not. And it's something I've always desired, but I haven't really. I've experienced it, but not in a romantic way for real. But it's just still like, it's something I have to remind myself that I'm worthy of and I deserve, and I don't need to overthink it. I should just be appreciative. But I mean, hey, what can I say? My journey, I've chose,
So,
the man.
let me ask.
Fine.
Let me ask you this then. So, do you feel like to some of the men you may have dealt with, do you feel like you intimidate them?
Yes, for sure. I asked someone the last person I dealt with. I asked him if like basically if I intimidated him. I can't remember the words I said, but I asked him basically that. But it's just like all in your actions. And then when I say I have like male homies and male friends, and I know of different age ranges, married, single, you know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot what I was saying. What was your question?
I asked, what did you feel like you intimidate the men that you deal with?
Oh, yeah.
Or may have dealt with in the past? Or...
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I have males around me. It's like I can call up someone who's more seasoned than I am. I have talks with seasoned beings, even ones I don't know, like somebody antsy off the street. Sorry, my battery thing just went on. But yes, I feel like I do, and it kind of sucks. It just sucks because it doesn't have to be like that, but it's cool. I wouldn't. It's not something that I think I would ever. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good at all.
Why is that?
Because first of all, I love to be submissive.
Right.
And I don't feel like I ever get the opportunity to be. Because it's not with someone that's aligned with, we're just not aligned in that type of way. And it's just, you can't be intimidated by me and I feel protected by you at the same time. And I like to feel protected.
Because it don't work like that.
Like, and yeah, it just sucks because I like leadership. I desire a man to take lead. I desire a man to challenge me. I desire a man to be able to challenge me, and I feel a type of way and I cry and right in front of them while they're talking to me, but they still know how to speak to me with love. They know how to challenge me with love. They know how to accept me. I can't name anybody that I ever dealt with that made me feel Um, they just never made it lighter. It's not your job.
Right.
It's not your job to make it lighter, but I mean, if that's not what's going on, I don't feel like, because I know that I can make you lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why,
Because it's a partnership.
and that's literally why you here. Exactly. It's like we're a team. And yeah. Nobody I've ever dealt with has spoken life into me.
Mm.
They may have said some kind things.
But to speak life, that's a whole different.
My male friends do that more than I mean, my female friends do too, but you know what I'm saying? We're speaking on romantic things, so I'm gonna keep
Relationships,
it
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for the men. Yeah, and that's not cool because if I'm dating you or I'm getting to know you, but my partner's speaking more life into me than you are, that's an issue, bro, and it makes me feel horrible.
Definitely.
Cause
Definitely.
now
Because
I'm
it's
like,
like,
bro,
why
I
I can't
should.
get that? Like, why I can't get that from you?
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. That's how I feel right now at this present moment. Like that's maybe it'll change one day, but yeah, it is complex.
Well, it'll definitely change one day, you know what I mean? It's a lot of dope men out here. You know, they just being hotter sometimes, you know what I mean?
They just in preparation as we
You
all
know what I
were.
mean? You know, they getting themselves together and you know, when it's aligned, everybody will find each other.
Mhm.
That's one thing I do know. So if there's one thing you feel like you've learned over the years from your relationship endeavors,
Like
what?
no relationships since high school.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not
No, I'm
relationships,
saying that
like,
was the perfect term. Relationship endeavors.
oh
Like
yeah,
that's the
oh
that's
yeah.
so perfect. Like you have the perfect
Uh-huh.
word. I told you.
So yeah, relationship endeavors. What's one thing you could take away from yourself? Not looking at what happened in the situations. What's one thing that you feel you've taken and has really helped you along your journey?
It's all up to me, honestly. Like I'm saying, as far as like accountability and responsibility for the
Mm-hmm.
things I'm tolerating, for the things I'm letting slide, for the things I'm allowed, like the waters I'm testing. It's all up to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to deal with that shit, and I damn sure ain't going to anymore.
You
So
feel me?
that's one thing of many things, but that was like the first thing that
Mm-hmm.
came to my head. It's all up to me. It's my responsibility. I don't blame any of these. I don't blame any of the beings I was in a relationship endeavor with. I, you know what I'm saying? Because I can be full of love, but that doesn't mean, I'm perfect or, of course not, but you know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what? I was reading this book and it talks about how we're going to get that to another thing. But it's basically about like who says that we're not perfect. Like why that's a part of that's the book is called The Voice of Knowledge. Like that's just a knowledge that we acquired and we feel like we're not perfect, but really like we're perfectly made how we are. So I be trying to be mindful with that
That's
phrase.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I remember I said one time what the definition of humble is. I looked it up. It said to lessen one's value.
Mm-hmm.
That's the definition of humble. It's like, why be humble?
Yeah, let's not
Why
humble.
would you? Yeah,
No,
why would you lessen your value?
mhm.
Like, you just see it. You just see it.
What's one thing that you've learned in your relationship endeavors over the years?
Well, a lot of things, but I did write something in my notes one day. You I'm gonna say. And this is one thing I picked up, and I honestly cannot wait to test what I've learned. It said I wrote down tone, delivery, and energy. So the reason I say that because um I consider myself a good communicator, right? But when y'all took that real look into the mirror, when say you're in an argument or whatever, um, as a man, you know what I mean, when you raise your voice, no matter what female it is, bro, like it gives off a different energy to them. So I used to kind of, raise my voice like getting loud, like rah, doing the whole nine. And then I realized, like, bro, that's not even, effective communication. Like me having to raise my tone of voice to talk to you. You know what I mean? So therefore, if I'm raising my tone of voice at this point, you're not even listening to anything I'm fucking saying, because all you hear is my tone of voice. You feel me? Like, and I just feel like it's something to be said as a man. When you can control your tone of voice, no matter how angry or how upset you are. You know what I mean? To be able to control. Like, you could be angry and upset. Don't get me wrong, fellas. You know what I mean? Feel your emotions. But you cannot, but you just being able to channel that into effective ways. Because at the end of the day, like, when you raise your voice, like, no matter what, the voice get a little deeper. Like, a female's going to react to the voice more than anything. They're not going to listen to what you say. Not even, I'll take a step, not even a female, a human being. You know what I mean? Because I even talked to a nigga like that, bro. Nigga instantly defense mode. You're not even hearing what I'm saying to you. You see what I'm saying? I could be saying the realest shit ever. But if we're yelling back and forth, da da da, at that point it just become an ego match. You know what I mean? So therefore nobody's hearing nothing to what to be said. So that's one of the things I took out, just learning how to talk to people even when you feeling emotions.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? I feel like that was one of my hardest things for me because naturally I'm an emotional person. Anybody that know me know that truly know me know I'm an emotional person. So, but when you get to speaking with emotion, like people don't hear that. People just gonna hear the emotion. They're not gonna hear what you're saying. So therefore, excuse me, it's gonna come off as emotional shit. And that's one thing, when you're trying to deliver a message, you don't want to come off as emotional. So that's one of the life lessons I learned from my relationship endeavors.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Tone,
You got me in
delivery,
my
and energy.
head. You got me in my head. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. That's real shit, man. That's kind of real shit.
It's that Gemini shit.
Facts. That's some shit I had to learn, the hard way, just like, damn, okay.
I've been in a whole different zone since you brought up the whole topic. I honestly don't even have any answers. I was just speaking.
Look, we said at the top of the podcast, she didn't know, so it just was sprung up on her. And if you want to, full transparency, I just found out 5 minutes before the podcast. So, it just hit my spirit. I said, that's what I should talk about. And I feel like most of the first episode, they got a glimpse. It's just a conversation, nothing too scripted, not really scripted, really. Just a conversation for the community, and I kind of wanted to stay true to that. I didn't want to put too much thought into it throughout the day. I just let it, like, we talked before, sometimes I sit in silence and I just think. So, I just let whatever flow to me. And that's what God put sizzling on my spirit this morning or this afternoon.
This evening.
This evening. That's way more apropos,
Okay,
So,
well, I appreciate this conversation. Probably go cry.
definitely. That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Everybody that know me know I'm a crybaby.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
My ass gonna cry. But yes, thank you for the beautiful conversation. You're a natural.
I try,
Um,
man. I try.
did we tell them how we met? Or did we just, I
Nah.
think we were just talking about how long we knew each other.
Yeah, we just said how long we knew each other. I'm thinking when the time we met.
But when you were saying about, how dang, how we in this, I feel like a pimp. I
like
need
a
my
pimp.
shades. I need my hat, my
You do like a
straws.
pimp with that white coat though.
I
Okay, like.
can, okay. But about basically, we're here to give love and receive love, be of love, which is definitely what I feel like life's purpose is.
Definitely.
But y'all, so one time, okay, this is how we met. Do you want me to say it or you want to say it?
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, because I feel like I always talk about it. But this was like 2016. I think I was in Miami for my birthday type shit. That means we about to be known each other for 6 years. But yeah, I was really cool with this young lady we were mutual friends with, and I needed a ride from the airport. And I think that y'all were together or something already. I don't know. But anyways, that's how we met. He picked me up from the airport and took me home. Like, it was just all of us. And it was cool. Yeah, that's how we met.
Good vibes from day one.
Yeah, now we here. You have always been genuine, though. I've always gotten that from you. And I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to give you some more of your flowers.
I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate you having me on. You know what I mean? I'm always say that, you know. You know, when y'all see us, within, I ain't gonna put no timetable on it, but it'll be soon. We'll have the microphones, we'll have it set up, we'll have the whole nine, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But just keep following along, keep following along.
Oh, she scared me. All right. Well, it was nice having this conversation with you. I know you about to go to sleep, but I'm about to call you real quick.
All right, for sure.
Okay, community, and we out, and that gun is finna play because I ain't tell you, but I feel like you probably peeped. So Far Ahead, Empire is like
Oh yeah, that's my
our
shit.
theme right
That's my
now.
shit.
That's
Uh-huh.
that's the podcast
Uh-huh.
flow. I
Yeah,
couldn't know,
nah,
I don't
fact.
know if you could tell, but
That
that's
is the
what it
vibe.
is.
That is the vibe. Every time we hear it on the background, I'm like, oh, that's it right there.
That shit
That's
really
it.
ride too.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah,
No care.
facts. We had to keep it ATL in this bitch.
You feel me?